Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for new battle report. We are round 5 of ETC 2021 in Novi Sad, Serbia. I'm playing against Carledor from Team Colombia. He's the Highborn Elf player and he's featuring, like you can see on the right, an ancient dragon. So this is going to be interesting. This is my list, my opponent's list. So I was playing a High Prince on an ancient dragon with Hero's Heart and a Lucky Charm, so quite expensive setup. Then we have Master Cosmo plus the Master Canonic Tower, good combination to heal, and yeah, I think it's, if you play such a piece you need to build the list around and to support him with enough heal spell to make sure he can survive long enough to be in combat and be effective. So here we have Master Cosmo binding Obsidian Rock, Master Canonic Tower, MR2, so MR4. Then we have 23 Guard with a Flaming Standard, 20 Citizen Spear with an additional MR, 2x5 Ilian Rivers, 24 Sword Masters with Banner of Becalming, 5 Knight of Rima, a River Chariot, 5 Grey Watcher, and double Seaguard Reaper. So we have a mix in this list between some medium size sort of fighty combat block, a couple of pieces of chaff, Alien Rivers and Grey Watcher can also act as chaff, and then some support pieces like the Rima and River Chariot, and obviously the big piece of this list is the Ancient Dragon. Yeah, together him and the Sword Master are really the main striking force of the list, so it's kind of a short list like we are used to with Highborn Elves, but it's really focused around him and the Sword Masters. My spell selection, as I usually do, I always make a mistake here, so I didn't pick Hereditary, I took 1, 2, 5, 6, so I wanted Totemic Summon and Swarm of Insect to threaten War Machine, because I know this combination is really good against War Machine like Bolt Throwers, and then obviously both Break the Spirit and number 1, so +1 Resilience or Strength, are very useful also from distance, so that was a good combination for me. And also I have Chilling from the Frosty, and then his mage took 3, 4, 6 and Hereditary, and then you have the spell from Master Canonic Tower. We played Spoil of War for this round, so as a reminder, everybody from the round played the same secondary objective, but then the scenario, the deployment is randomized, so we got Refuse Flank. So I knew between Diagonal and Spoil of War, it's a combination where my army can be, it's easier, I think for all army lists, it's easier to be on the Spoil turn 1. For Ogre can, obviously with March 12, you can also be with normal deployment, but it's easier. And you know, between the Diagonal deployment, you always have this kind of big triangle against small triangle where you can have like a secure zone where you can push easily. I mean, your opponent will struggle to have a lot of stuff against this big triangle, so you can use that, I think, to your advantage to secure a spoil, especially if you start. You can like take advantage of the train, and also the fact that we have both range damage, and also, yeah, because I have Shamanism, I would like to start. Because if I can start, I can go on the token and then use Shamanist to try to kill or hurt Bolt Thrower or protect also my Mercenary Whip, for example. I think it would be really a huge advantage in the game. And the opposite is also true. I think if my opponent can start, it can possibly be kind of aggressive starting, try to hurt my mercenaries, to do some damage on them while they are unprotected by Shamanism. So this would be also an advantage, I think, for him to start. I have tools to shoot the Ancient Dragon, so this was a strange round because Colombia had a meta where they have a lot of big pieces. So I felt pretty confident against their meta. I had, yeah, several positive matchup. For example, they had, I think, a Zombie Dragon, an Alpha Carnosaur, and this Ancient Dragon. So large pieces where I think my list is designed to deal with this kind of threat. I mean, 16 poison shots, a cannon, and then plus Swarm of Insect. I think it's enough tool to hurt this kind of big pieces. The way I see it, he has two ways to approach the game. Either he played safe, leave me the spoil and try to protect the dragon, use the cover and not get killed, and let me try to push him, which is kind of hard to do because if he uses well his number of blocks, that can play a little bit on the steadfast and also countercharge. He has also enough chaff. So I think it can make hard for me to really push him. But then he has to accept the fact that he's going to lose like 7. Or he can try to go for it. And then just say, fuck it, I try to be very aggressive, go in CC and try to win the game. But this is obviously much more risky. And I felt that the odds are in my favor if you try to do that. But obviously there is always a risk. When your opponent tries the very risky approach, it can go up or down. Swan Master, I have to be careful. I think to deal with them, they strike hard and fast, so I need to be careful, clean the chaff, and avoid them really being able to push me. And my estimation for this matchup was a 12. So this is the deployment. My opponent won the roll for side, so I was really happy. He decided to cut it that way, meaning he took the top left. I think mostly due to the fact that there is a forest here where he can put the ancient dragon and avoid me getting the +1 from the cannon, and also the ruin against some of my shooting can be useful, for example if he wants to protect Sword Master, stuff like that. So I think it was mostly driven by the cover possibilities of this part of the fact that he cut this way, meaning I got this part of the board. There is only a lake, a hill, a wall, and impassable here. So the impassable here, if you see the way diagonal is cut, my big triangle is here and my small triangle is here, meaning I mean it's almost impossible for me to get that one. There is an impassable and it's my small triangle, meaning I cannot drop a lot of stuff to fight his big triangle. So yeah, my idea was I'm going to focus on these 2 tokens, drop heavily. I measure the fact that mercenaries can, with movement 6, be on the hill and get some very good shooting position. I can also use the hill to my advantage to protect somehow my cannon and maybe also my first mammoth. So I was really happy about the position of the hill, very central. I think I can really use that to my advantage with all my shooting weapons. And then, yeah, my other idea was to play a very strong right flank, meaning, I mean, his deployment is starting somewhere here, so it's kind of hard for him to say, okay, I'm going to be on the starting line facing your Bruiser, Death Star. So I put the Bruiser here, a small dart, Yetis that can vanguard and go around, and the Bruiser on the left here. So that was a little bit the idea. A mage is over here to have optimal ranges from the hill everywhere, and then we have the BSB here in the middle that can give 18 up to this current unit. So that was a little bit the idea of the deployment. And my opponent decided to minimize my turn 1 range damage by putting basically everybody outside the mercenary range. So everybody is outside of my 30. It dropped pretty low with Ancient, all the stuff really to be far away from me. Sword Master are also far away. He really wanted to avoid my range damage on turn 1 as the best he could do. And then his second idea was obviously to make sure that he can grab easily this second token. I could have let like a unit, maybe the Yetis, to try to play around here and try to fight for this token, but I had a little bit the feeling if I do that, first of all, I will struggle to give them BSB range because this part of the board is really isolated from the center. And yeah, I prefer to say myself, okay, I focus on these 2, I make sure I grab them turn 1, and then let's see how he can come after me. But I felt strong enough by doing that I don't need to care much about this one. And still, I have the King Eater in ambush that alone can be very annoying for 20 spears wounding on 6 up. They are not sure to deal with the King Eater, so I still have that opportunity. If it's needed to contest this point, I can always send the King Eater to basically annoy him. So yeah, I felt okay with my deployment. So on this side you have Reavers, Rymanite, Grey Watchers, Boltor, Ancient Dragon, Swan Masters, Sea Guard, Spears, Reaver Chariot. And I'm going to start the game. So my turn 1, since he put me out of range, the good news was I can march with mercenaries, be on the token turn 1, and I march the small tribesman dart to be on the token as well. I prefer to grab it since it's completely safe. This part of the board is going to be kind of hard for him to attack. I prefer to grab it with this unit rather than really slow down the Death Star. I wanted the Death Star to march forward and be a good support and basically have a very strong, you see my 3 main hitting units are protecting each other, covering each other, making very hard for him to push me without sacrificing one or multiple chaff. I decided to trap the hill, thinking it's going maybe to be important, and I had nothing else really to do, and I just kept the trappers in range from BSB and general starting. I moved the cannon forward. Since he's in the forest, it needed for me moving. I didn't want to try to hit on 6-up and misfire. I just decided to hide it behind the hill, and then next turn I can just pivot and shoot. But basically, yeah, I just didn't like the odds of... Obviously, I can hit on 6-up and maybe do stuff, but it's not going to kill him because it's outside of mercenaries. He has the opportunity to heal, so I felt the downside of making misfire turn 1 and not shooting the rest of the game could have been much more hurt. Yeah, could have hurt my game plan much more than the odds of making something crazy good here. So that was the approach I took, which can surprise you maybe. Frosty moved a little bit, the dog is here behind, and I just kept that unit as also unit that can be useful. I'm aware that the Swordmaster could possibly push me. I want some chaff to be ready to chaff them if needed, because I could struggle to fight them. They are high agility, meaning if they charge my unit, even with the Frost Mammoth, it goes before me, which is a problem for me. By turn 1, I cast a Totemic Summon. Unfortunately, I roll the miscast that makes me forget the spell, which is annoying, especially turn 1. Totemic Summon are going to be great in this game, so I was a bit annoyed, but yeah, that's how it is. So I get a Totemic Summon here in the back, and I wanted at the beginning to put it near the Bolt Thrower, and then I decided, you know what, Grey Watcher here, they can be annoying with the -1 to hit, and also the fact that they can chaff later on, and they are outside of BSB, so I tried to force some panic check. Also Rymanite are outside. You never know what it can do. BSB is like here or here, I mean really far away from the right, so I decided to try to force some panic check. So I just put my Totemic Summon here. It did with the breast weapon 3 wounds the Grey Watcher, and this worked. He panicked, go through the unit, didn't panic the other 2 units, unfortunately, but then he ended up here, so that was kind of good for me. As a turn 1, and the rest I didn't do nothing because my range damage was basically too far. His turn 1. So yeah, despite the fact that he was in the forest, he said, fuck it, I march outside, and he gets 1 wound from the DT. He moved forward with the Swordmaster, so I know right now that he's going to try to attack me. No matter the odds, the risk, he wants to go at it. Which surprised me a little bit because he was starting really far away from me, which should make the life difficult for him. He uses a unit of Reaver to chaff me because mercenaries on the hill can charge far away, so he didn't want any of that. Moves the Reaver to the side out of my arcs, and these guys go near the token, but they couldn't be on the token turn 1, which is good because they just lose time. They won't do anything else than grab this token basically. These 2 guys rallied, and then he moved the Reaver Chariot to threaten my Totemic Summon that was here. I put it far away for him, meaning he had no charge, and basically I will force him to shoot me. If he can't achieve that, I will basically get Totemic Summon against a Bolt Thrower, which I liked. So yeah, that's his turn 1 movement. On the magic phase, oh, also yeah, didn't care about taking DTs with Elran Reaver 2, and he lost 2 in the forest, passed the panic check as well, and got here in front. He got Hereditary off. I dispel Regeneration because I knew, oh, I'm getting some nice cannon shot against the dragon, which is always good. So I dispelled Regeneration, and then he got 2d6 strength 4, which killed like 2 trappers. I passed the panic check, and with all his shooting, he's able to kill my Totemic Summon. My turn 2. So I grabbed 2 tokens, I moved back with them. You see also I took some casualties with mercenaries. I lose basically 1 mercenaries, I guess. So I lost 1 mercenaries here, veteran. I moved back 3. I took the charge with the bruiser against the chaff. Wanted to get rid of that without using my shooting, meaning I have all my shots to shoot at the cannon, which should be nice. Frosty moves slightly to be on the hill as well. And then also making sure that my units are basically in danger because of the Rymanite, but still covering covering each other, pretty well. My King Eater comes on the board. I felt confident of being able to hold these 2 tokens, so I just said to myself, I will try to hurt his shooting and try to be annoying against the shooting base, because this can be very painful over 6 turns against my mercenaries especially. So I prefer to send the King Eater here to threaten his back line rather than go against this unit. In the magic phase, I got a Swarm of Insect off, I think, did something against this bolt thrower. And then with shooting, I did nothing with the cannon against the dragon, didn't hit. But then the mercenary shots made 1 wound against the dragon, which is not much. And close combat, I killed the 3 reavers and just reform. I checked before, I was ready to flee in case he charged me. It's just annoying, rerollable to take maybe on 1 or 2 units, so I was fine with that. His turn 2, he charged with the ancient dragon against my bruiser that fled over them. They passed the 9 rerollable, okay, and fled over here, so just the dragon make fail charge, didn't move much. The Sword Master didn't want to move much as well. His chaff piece moved to the side to annoy me. They go on the token, they move forward to continue shooting at mercenaries. The Rymanite just cover the angle in case I want to charge with the Yetis. He just want to be sure that he can counter-charge me with Rymanite, which is smart. And then Reaver Chariot position himself to counter-charge the King Eater in case he missed me in shooting. Also, I did 1 wound with, I think 1 wound with my Swarm of Insect, but he has still -1 to shoot, which is nice because the Yeti are exposed, mercenaries are exposed. I knew that 1 turn more than I can be partially behind the hill and then use soft cover, so that was also part of the plan, but moving back, it takes some time to really take advantage from it. In the magic phase, so let me see. He killed my trappers with 2d6 from Cosmology. Then he got Hereditary, but he got +1 Resilience on the dragon, I think, and heal a wound on the dragon. If I'm not mistaken, that's what he did. And with shooting, he didn't do much against my King Eater. I think I passed some good saves. And I don't know if he targeted... No, he didn't target mercenaries, so I think he shot everything at my King Eater, but didn't do much. I was successful with my regen saves. And also, I was taking advantage, you see, from the fact that he had soft cover and -1 from the Swarm of Insects, so making hard from this bolt thrower to hit me. So basically, it's only 1 bolt thrower wounding me on 5 ups with the 6 shot. That didn't do much. So my turn 3, I charge against the bolt thrower. I couldn't get an overrun against anything else than the Rymanite, but it's still fine. I think I can maybe hold them in place or scary them. They are in the forest, so no steadfast. Even if I don't do anything, this will be a charge in the back. Obviously, the Chariot can counter-charge me, but I mean, it's not high strength, so many high strength attacks, so I like the odds of getting rid of a bolt thrower and maybe pinning them in place, or maybe making them flee even. The rest continue to move back with mercenaries. I wanted to continue to target the dragon, but here I think I should have get rid of the light cav, just turning them slightly more around and just try to get rid of the light cav, because dragon is still far away and chaff pieces is kind of very important if you consider the fact that they are 5 and they can chaff multiple of my unit to allow the Sword Master to push me. I talked about it in the pre-game and I just forgot about it. I was just too focused of get rid of the dragon before he goes too close to me, but here I think I should just have turn around slightly more, shoot at them, force a panic check at least, maybe get rid of them because of short range. You never know. In the magic phase, a binding scroll. Excuse me. In my turn 3, I got Swarm of Insect, did another 2 wounds against the bolt thrower, but didn't kill him. Unfortunately, I cast Break the Spirit against the dragon, which was nice. And then with shooting, I shot with the cannon, which was this time I think a 4+, and then 2+. I rolled a 4+ this time. But then I rolled a 1 to wound, so nothing. Shots from mercenaries didn't do much. I only had poison shot because of the Fee Miasma that I failed last turn, unfortunately. And yeah, that was it for my turn. So maybe I did a wound to the dragon, but not much more than that. And yeah, close combat, Keen Eater, get rid of the bolt thrower, overrun on the back of them. So I was happy. His turn 3. Yeah, that dragon didn't take a wound. It took a wound from the dangerous train. So again, he didn't care at all. So first charges, maybe River Chariot, charge me in the back. Okay, that was expected. These guys, they have the token, they move towards me. And the Ancient Dragon, even with Break the Spirit, doesn't care at all. He march, get 1 wound from the DT, and get over here to threaten my flank. So yeah, he doesn't care at all. These guys move slightly forward. He used them to chaff me. I think he could have maybe pushed slightly more, but he didn't want maybe to get a charge from the Yetis, or I don't know. And also, since I still have, if he moves further up, I still have possibilities to chaff him from behind the hill with the dog. So I was feeling okay. So yeah, these guys come down to chaff me. But now I'm in a hurry, and the dragon still has a lot of wounds left. His magic phase. So he got... Oh, sorry, no, I read right now. So I make 1 wound from the shooting last turn with the poison shot, but from the Break the Spirit, he got nothing from the 3 DTs on the 1 and the 2. He got no wound from that, so lucky him. In the magic phase, he got Hereditary off. Close combat, I win by 1. So he failed the fear check with the chariot, which is nice, because I think the BSB was like somewhere in this unit. I'm not sure if he had a range to the chariot, not sure. But basically he failed this fear check, meaning I could hit everything on the back with a +1 and hatred, which is nice. So I do that. And I win by 1, basically. I have a charge at the back, he has a charge in the back. I made 1 more than him on the combat result. So he has a check on the -2 because of fear, but he passes that. And same goes for them. They passes also with -1 and fear. So, I was disappointed because that was a great occasion to shine for the Keen Eater. And then let's move on to my turn 4. So my turn 4. So I need to make here contingency mitigation plan, basically, because I'm expecting the dragon to charge mercenaries next turn. And yeah, I didn't want to lose them for free. So basically what I make sure is the following. So I had nothing that can really charge them without being in danger to getting counter charge. So here we're still in combat. So what I decided to do is basically, obviously he can charge me. It's a middle range charge. It's like a 7 on 3 dice. So yeah, he could do that. I don't want to flee because of the token. But what I wanted to make sure is the fact that he is under the freezing aura from the Frosty, and that I have some counter charge in place. Basically, if he decides to go against me, I want to make him... It's not likely that he kills everybody. Basically, he has to choose then... First, I have to choose if I want to challenge or not with the champion. I could play on the steadfast, but it depends a lot how many wounds are left when he reach combat. Because if I don't do enough wounds in this combat, I can get all the counter charge I want. He could basically just chaff my guys here. And then after that, what can I really do? It's not a Frosty and a Chariot that are going to kill an Ancient Dragon. So I need to make sure my choice of challenging or not will depend on how many wounds he has left. But even if he has a lot of wounds, mercenaries can do a lot of attacks. So I just made sure that if he charges me, he can overrun into nothing. And then if he gets no overrun, basically I want to be sure that I can do a lot of attack against him, do some wounds, and then he has to choose. If he tries to catch me, maybe he gets over here, and then I can get some nice cannon shot, short range, and I should be able to kill him. So even if I lose the mercenaries, I have a scoring unit that can maybe grab the token later, and I should have a way to basically... trade mercenaries for the Ancient Dragon, which was the best solution I came up with. The Death Star moved slightly back. I didn't want to fight in a one-on-one situation against the Swordmaster because I know that they would just murder me. And I positioned the Yeti as a counter charge. They cannot move up because, I mean, he can free himself at any point and just be free and charge me. So I have no solution with the Yetis. They are really stuck in this part of the board. They have no space to express themselves, to really move forward. So yeah, they are kind of stuck. In my magic phase. So this time, a Binding Scroll, Break the Spirit to avoid me casting it on the dragon, I think. I tried to do Swarm of Insect against Dragon. I did nothing. And I was able... Yeah, no, that's it. Did nothing in Magic, I guess. And then with the shooting. So I shoot with them. I did maybe 1 wound. This time I was hitting on 3+. So I hit. I wound on 2+. And I roll another 1 to wound. So, yeah. Shit happens, you know. And also I tried to shoot, I think, with the crossbow. I didn't do much. I shot with the BSB and the crossbow, I think, against them. Tried to get rid of them, but he still had 2 left. And we completely forgot at this point to do the trap on them, which, yeah, was kind of important because it's 5 DTs on the one, maybe lose 1, then it's maybe 1 less to kill with shooting. So, yeah, my mistake. His turn, it charges mercenaries. I pass my turn check. I stand and shoot. I don't think I did... I don't know if I did 1 wound now or the round before with my shooting. Not sure about that. But yeah, he came in combat. The 3 remaining guys just go in front of me. Anyway, yeah, we did the trap now, but nothing for him. It's only 1 DT on 1, so he didn't take anything from that. Here he's still in combat, but he was able last turn to reform and face me. I think he has 1 wound left here, and I have like 1 or 2 wounds left with my Keen Eater. Seaguard push forward, and now the Swarm Master are really able to push forward since he's still able to chaff all my unit. So he's feeling okay, and he can really push me. So it's going to be very interesting. In his magic phase, I use my Binding Scroll on the regen, I guess, because I really wanted the mercenaries. I knew he has 4 wounds, I think 4 or 5 wounds remaining. So I knew, I think he has 7 wounds. So I knew I cannot, I have to refuse the challenge. The prince can attack me. I have 4 full mercenaries, so most likely he kills 1, maybe does like 1 wound to another one, and then I get 16 poison attack back. So I knew with that, if I can do like 2 wounds, then I have a good chance of getting rid of him later on. So that was a little bit the idea by refusing the challenge, because these guys go before the dragon and the breast weapon and all the stuff. So a Binding Scroll, Healing Water, I dispel -1 strength, but he's still able to get +1 resilience on the dragon. I think the Binding Scroll wasn't the best choice. I should have bind like +1 resilience, dispel -1 strength, and maybe live with him getting regen 5 up. Maybe. I don't know what are the odds. It's maybe more or less the same. So yeah, and +1 resilience. I think he had like 3 dice against my 4 dice, because I had I think I had a lot of spells. No, it's something else. I think, yeah, that was the idea. Basically, he got +1 resilience on the dragon. Sorry, sometimes I struggle to read my notes, especially if they are done during an ETC game. I don't take many notes, so it's kind of hard to understand what happened. And then in close combat, so interestingly, he killed the Keen Eater and reform. So yeah, unfortunately, my plan didn't work here. And the Ancient Dragon, the Prince did like 2 wounds. So I get 4 mercenaries back. So I was like, ooh, this is nice. I did 3 wounds to him. So he has like 1 or 2 wounds left. So very, very nice. Then he goes back with the dragon, rolls really poor on the number of breast weapon, didn't hit well with the dragon as well. He didn't do much basically, and he made 4 wounds total. So I'm still steadfast on the 9 rollable. So yeah, I stick basically. I was surprised by that. So my turn 5. Now I have some nice opportunities. So I triple countercharge the dragon with Bruises, Chariot, and the Frosty, checking that the Frosty, I should be able to kill him with all these high strength attack plus the 15 attacks, poison and all the stuff. I should be fine to kill him, and then I can reform the Frost and minimize the contact against them, so basically chaff them with the Frost afterwards, because there was no way I could go around with the dog and avoid an overrun against the Frost. So that was the idea. Death Star moves slightly back, we'll continue to shoot at them. Yeah, that was it. In my magic phase, I got Break the Spirit against the Sword Master, which was really, really nice. But here I miscast again, I think miscast 6, and I lose 2 wounds on my Shaman. But it was an important spell, I cast it with 4 dice. And then close combat, only with the impact from the cannon, I killed the dragon. So that was really nice. And then I was just able to reform like I wanted to. So yeah, I was happy. I got rid of the dragon. That was a decisive moment. So what I wasn't able to do with all my range damage, I was able to do it in the combat with the cannon. So for the story, it was nice to see the cannon finishing the dragon. So I was kind of happy at this point of time that I was finally able to kill him. So he's turn 5. Even with Break the Spirit, he doesn't care. Charge the Frost Mammoth, try to go for it. The remaining Alien Reavers that continue to annoy me chaff against the Death Star. Yeah, what can I do? So yeah, they just charge me. These guys just didn't move to shoot at me. And yeah, that was it. Basically, has not a lot of unit left. Let me check. He tried. Oh yeah, interestingly, he tried to charge on the flank of the Frost Mammoth with the Rymanite, but fail on a 10, which could have been painful for me because then it allows him to overrun on the cannon, for example, or stuff like that. So I wasn't too happy about that, but I couldn't flee with the Frosty. It was just impossible, so I had to take it. He took nothing from DT. And yeah, in Magic Phase, I dispelled the Throne because I didn't want him to raise back all the guys that he lost from Break the Spirit. He lost like yeah, like a third of the unit with Break the Spirit. So I was really happy about that. I just dispelled the Throne, and that he got Hereditary and +1 strength on them. Close combat has only like 4 guys touching me, meaning even with +1 strength, I have a small chance of surviving. Never know. He didn't do that well. He did like 4 wounds to me, meaning I was able to get 10 attacks back plus the stomp. So that hurts against one master. So I was able to kill a lot of them and basically stick. My turn 6. So here I get some very nice counter charge. The 3 remaining mercenaries counter charge the flank. The cannon goes here again in the flank, causing a lot of impact hits and stuff before him. I used the cat to chaff them to not get any counter charge against me. And the Death Star goes against the Alien Reaver, try to kill him, and the rest just move back in a safe position. Yeah, nothing big here. I just kill all of them. I mean, it's so many attacks going before him, impact hits, all the stuff. I kill just all of them. There is nobody left. So that's it. And then in his turn 6, he will just charge and kill the dog, and that's the end of the game. I don't know if he attempted like a long charge. No. Yeah. They failed the panic check, these 2 guys. They flee this direction over the Rymanite that failed the panic, who fled over there. And then on his 6, he rallied the Rymanite, basically. So they weren't able to get some late charge to kill the Frosty. And that was it. So when we added up the points, it's a 19-1 because I got the Spoil of War and I got a good chunk of points. I didn't lose much points, so it's 19-1. Post-game analysis. So definitely drop to start the game gave me the edge on the secondary objective. The Highborn Elves still tried to attack, which surprised me because he was really far away. He took a lot of risk. I mean, DT's Forest, DT's Break the Spirit. I had 3 turns of cannon shots with no cover at all, 2 long range, 1 short range, a lot of poison shots, so I had a lot of opportunities to shoot him down, but he still tried it and he almost achieved it. He was in combat and I was in danger, but then the luck just turned around. It was funny because yeah, nothing was going well for me with shooting, and then after in CC completely the other way around. His roll were crap and then I start to roll well with mercenaries and then the dragon. Like I said, the lack of range damage early on put me in danger with against the dragon. Definitely, I could have made my life easier, even if you don't consider the dragon situation, the fact that it took so long to deal with him. I think I should definitely have focused my shot on my turn 3 against the light cavalry, because then they were able to chaff me multiple times, and if I get rid of them with the shooting at this point of time, basically the Sword Master cannot push me, meaning it's a safer choice. In case I struggle with the dragon, I'm sure that I don't have to deal with both Sword Master and the dragon. So I think here that was by not taking care of them on my turn 3, I was in a possible danger. Yes, this close combat, it was like kind of, I don't know how to say it in English, but kind of not natural to not take the challenge to play on the steadfast, but this was the right choice. The fact that I was getting so many poison attack, taking a challenge would have been here a mistake. Even it was like a surprising choice maybe for you, and I think even for me. But if you count everything together, I think it was the right choice to make him think twice. Do you want to pursue, not pursue? And with 16 attack at least for mercenaries, I was almost sure to get a couple of wounds off because of all this poison attack. Kineater did a great job at being annoying. Almost did something very nice for me. I mean, for example, the Rymanite could have fled and then it opened up completely the flank for the Yetis to push. So I really like the fact that the Kineater was able to give me an opening on the part of the map, and also basically it occupied both the River Chariot and the Rymanite for almost all the game. So that was perfect for me. And yeah, confirmation that it's very hard to push my list when my elements are in place. It's not so easy. I have a unit that I can give up that are not too expensive, and then all my combat block, if they start to combine, that's just too many attacks. So how this round ended up? So I got the 19. Like I said, we got another nice victory with Paul Dwarvenhold against Infernal Dwarves with 17. Victor against Sylvan Elves got a nice 15. So here you see the evolution. You see the evolution of the points over the time. Then we got from Andy's game it went the other way around. Also Dim went from a 14 estimation to an 8 at the end. But we got some nice surprise from Xavier coming down. It was a very bad matchup in his opinion, and he was able to grab a 13. And also TT grabbing some very important points in comparison to the estimation. So it's always very important to be able to like compensate where it goes down in regard to the estimation, and then be able to get some extra points, because we knew that after the pairing we have an estimation of 91. Then we need to do something extra to get to the 100 to make sure that we have a shot at the podium. Basically, we knew that we needed a cap here, and we just got it nearly. So it was really close, 101 points. So we were close to not cap them. So we were happy, job done. But this wasn't easy at all. So yeah, that's it for this battle report. Talk to you soon for the last one against France. Bye bye, guys.